We're kind of de-glamorizing being self-employed.
I have never not gotten a paycheck. 10 years. I was earning an income for 10 years. I swear to God, if I get another net 30 or net 60, I'm going to lose my mind. I actually got quoted a net 90 once.
I just had a breakdown about this yesterday.
No, it's not normal. I feel sick inside. It is not a financially good decision to quit your job when you're making over $200,000. It just doesn't make sense. In the back of my head, I always say, like, should I have quit my job too? You think about so many things. When we first posted, like, oh, we're quitting, like, it was a very high moment for us and for you, for everybody. Oh my God, they just quit their jobs. And it's so exciting, but then the next week you got to figure it out.
And I don't think everybody always talks about this when they do become self-employed. They always show the highlights, and that's not what we're about, guys. You know that. You know this. We don't like talking about all the happy things, okay? This week, we're sharing everything that we have learned in the last month about being self-employed. And some of these realizations might surprise you. This is what nobody tells you about quitting your job and being your own boss. Let's get into it, Half Past Crew.
Welcome to
Half Past Job.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of Half Past Ja. We're your hosts. My name is K2.
My name is Hallie.
And if you can't already tell, we're a married interracial couple. And that's what we talk about on this podcast. We talk about being an interracial couple. We talk about relationships in general. And we get questions from you because you guys go to www.halfpastjai.com where you submit your own questions and stories. We release new podcast episodes every single Monday. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Like this video, guys. As we are watching this, we are about to hit 20K. So let me know. Did we hit 20K? Did we not? I don't know. Did we? I'm so excited. Thank you all so much for spending your Monday with us. If you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you follow and give us 5 stars. It helps the algorithm a ton. So settle in, get cozy, and grab your cha.
Grab it. What are you doing? Amateur hour. Amateur!
All right, guys. We're going to have a great discussion today about what the last month has been like. It wasn't the best month in the world, but it wasn't the worst month in the world. We've learned a lot, and we have some things to share.
It was a new month for us. It was a very different style of life and a lot of lessons that we've learned. And I don't think everybody always talks about this when they do become self-employed. They always show the highlights, and that's not what we're about, guys. You know that. You know this. You've been here for a long time. We don't like talking about all the happy things, okay? I hate constantly happy movies. You have to show the real stuff. You have to get into the dirt. You gotta get in there. Get in there. And that's what we do here on Half Past Job.
When we first posted, like, oh, we're quitting, like, it was a very high moment for us and for you, for everybody. It was a very, like, oh my God, they just quit their jobs. And it's so exciting. But then the next week, you got to figure it out. And then the next month, you don't get a paycheck. And you really got to figure it out. And so this is going to be a discussion about all of that.
We're kind of de-glamorizing being self-employed. Yes, it's amazing. And it's so rewarding, has so many perks. There are so many things that you learn in embarking on this journey. But it's not always all that it's cracked up to be, because obviously there are a lot of hardships in any situation in life. I'm not saying one side is harder than the other, but having a business, building your own business, working all the time, it's kind of hard. So I really would like to talk about that. With that being said, I want to get started. We've got about 10 lessons that we've learned in the last month of being self-employed, of having our own business. Our own business is Espatel Productions and Half Past Chai.
We do professional photography and videography, and then we also help with social media, building your brand in like a consulting type space, but also in a digital space where we help build out some content for you to get started and then actually build your brand to figure out what you're going to do. And so we've been doing that for a while. And then Half Past Job, of course, you know. you know. Half Past Crew, of course you know. And there's a lot of changes that are happening. You know, Espatel Productions has been around for a really long time. We don't even know if it's going to stay Espatel Productions. Eventually it might even change into a different name.
I just heard that today, so this is very new to me.
And that's what happens, I feel like, in business. You don't know what's happening. It's just you just go with the punches and call it a day.
Well, this is a lesson I didn't even write down, but it's so true, is that the business world moves at the speed of lightning.
Yes, it's like email, send, done, email again, send, done. Like it's just over and over and over again.
Like we could get an email to do something today and we will have to do that thing tomorrow. You know what I mean? And I guess you could say too that it works that way in a corporate setting as well, but I don't know. I would beg to differ
so
there.
Slow.
It's a lot slower there because the work is being given to you there. Somebody's assigning this work to you. Here, we make our own work. We make our own work.
And it has to do with how much time we have.
And just to give a little bit more context for anyone that doesn't know, we have been working in the corporate field, in the STEM field for the last 5 years. We both actually worked at the same company, which is kind of wild. And we never thought that we would be able to do this, which is our dream. So we both quit our jobs, decided to embark on this journey together, and here we are. So with that being said, lesson number 1, you have to be even more intentional with the time that you have.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy, especially on that first day waking up. I remember I was so I had 1,000 things on my plate that I had to get done. I had to figure out this insurance stuff. I had to figure out what we're doing with invoicing. I had to figure out we already had these things figured out, but I realized there were so many gaps in how we were doing things. Like the process was not fully functional because Hallie was coming on to the team as for real this time. Like she's getting her own email. Everything was all together. So just like starting a brand new job, right? And I hadn't built systems well enough to incorporate 2 people. And I think that's something that was very difficult for me to fit all into one day on top of just working, making stuff, recording stuff, emailing people, assigning what I should do versus what Hallie should do. That was a tough conversation.
So can you explain your position at Espatel Productions and then I'll explain mine?
I'm the CEO.
Okay.
So I'm the video guy. I take care of mainly anything to do with video production, meaning the editing, the shooting, all of that. And then I also take care of a lot of the back-end systems, so the financials, the invoicing, emailing customers about how we need to get paid or whatever it may be. That's everything I take care of. And then Hallie.
It's kind of like good cop, bad cop. I'm good cop, you're bad cop.
Yeah.
My technical title at Espatel Productions is creative director, which means I do a lot of things. I'm a lot of the personality and the people-facing aspect of the business. I do a lot of reaching out. I do a lot of the sales process behind the scenes. So I have a contact sheet of people that I reach out to, whether it be through email, through social media, whatever. I kind of find those people, whether it be through LinkedIn or there are other sites that you can kind of figure out who does what at the company, who's the marketing team at this business or whatever. So I've done a lot of research into that, communications and reaching out to people, like I said, emailing people, organization and setting things up. And then on the photography side, I am the photographer, and that's where we differ because he's the video guy. He's amazing at video. I'm the photo gal. I do a lot of the photography. It just comes a lot easier to me. I could not do video, literally. I don't do as much of the editing. Most of the editing for the podcast is done by Suketu, but we kind of switch on and off about that sometimes whenever you need a break. And I think that's helpful.
One thing that Hallie helps me with on the editing side is that she'll cut the podcast. So in case there's pauses or gaps that we need to cut out, Hallie will do all of the cutting, and then she'll send me the file, and then I'll do the main edits that need to be done for every episode. So that is the most amazing thing in the world, because editing the podcast does take a ton of time. And so that is one thing that she definitely helps with whenever I do run out of time.
Well, especially too, right after, if I edit right after we record it, I'm like, well, I remember this. We just had this conversation, so it's very fresh. But along with the creative director aspect, that involves a lot of planning. So yes, Suketu definitely orchestrates the setup, and he's very good with the lighting and the technical piece. And then I am the one who's maybe coming up with some of the ideas, whether it be content ideas or, okay, we're meeting with this person to do a talking head about their business. So where do we want to film this? What are some talking points that I want to have ready? And doing the prep work involving that, kind of creating the vision, if you can think about it that way. So that's probably my favorite thing about this job. I love it so much. I think I do really well at it, and it's something that I look forward to doing, which is something that I can't say about my last job. So yeah. I love doing that. And just in general, when we are doing for the photography, videography piece, if we're somewhere, you ultimately are the setup guy and the execution guy. I'm making people feel comfortable, talking to them, figuring out exactly what their vision is and what ideas I already have, and figuring out how we can make that work together. And then that's how we get a really good final product. So I also do some of the photography and help video when needed, but I would say it's more kind of visionary stuff and figuring out the smaller details, because I always have a lot of questions and I'm a very curious person. So I feel like this job is really perfect for me.
Yeah, Hallie's really good at talking to people and making them feel like, there's always that setup person and then it's just silent. Like the person's like working in the corner and they're
So
just doing their
awkward.
thing, and then the client really doesn't get to know who this team, video team, photography team, they don't get to know them at all, and they're just like doing the work and leaving. Where I can kind of do the work and then Hallie's doing the talking, and by the time that the talking's over, they make a great connection. Hallie comes, helps me with photo and video, whatever it needs. We get the job done, but then we leave having an amazing connection with somebody that is going to last not just one time. Now it's like forever. Anytime they need us, they'll know who we are because we built the connection.
Yeah. And what's great about that is that you form such genuine connections and relationships with people, because there have been so many people that we've met doing day-long projects or week-long projects or whatever it may be that I genuinely love. And it's just been such a great experience to get to know people and to, I don't know, learn how we can get better as well, because then it opens up the floor for feedback and like, okay, what do you guys think we could do better? And you also, with the variety of projects that we work on, we learn so much from people. So it's a really great experience. So I would say we do a really great job of balancing each other out that way, because you just said you would struggle to do like what you do without me, and then I could not do any of this without you, literally, because you handle the finances, which you guys know I hate. You do the videography and you're the tech guy, and I literally could not, like, my brain doesn't work that way. I'm not smart in that way like you are. So I value that so much, because you're the guy that makes sure everything gets done. And so we have to have that. We have to have a bit of both, which is why I think we work so well together. And then also we're life partners as well. So with that being said, I want to talk a little bit more about this first point, because we have to be a lot more intentional with our time. It can be very easy to let time slip away from you when you're self-employed. And you might look at us and be like, you guys, you don't have anything to worry about. You don't have meetings. You don't have a deadline for this. That is not necessarily true.
We actually have a ton of meetings.
We have a lot of deadlines all the time.
It's like we get a project and then we have to finish it immediately, but it takes a long time to finish something. And then on top of that, the podcast, right? The podcast, making content, it seems like really not work, right? Like from an outside perspective, I still remember when like people were making videos, like it just seems like, oh, it's so easy to make videos. It must be like no time at all. You just like pick up the camera and 6-second video, boom, you're done. But it's a lot of work behind the scenes that I honestly was blind to as well before we really got into it, and then caused me to quit the job, right? It's gotten to a point where it's so much work that you cannot have a 9-to-5 efficiently. Like you can have a 9-to-5 and do these things 100%, but you can't do it in the maximum capacity that you want to do it in.
Yeah, that's for sure. And so with that being said too, the social media world moves very fast. So a lot of the things we do, if they're content deals or sponsorships, and like I said, everything moves really fast, you guys. So we sometimes have to kind of hustle and do things quickly. So with that in mind of the intentional time and everything, it's very hard sometimes to prioritize some things, because okay, well, we just got this today and they need it like in 3 days, and we don't have any kind of concept for this video. We don't have any kind of idea. Oh, we have to put an ad read it. And like, it is very confusing. It's so fun. We love it. To some people, to each their own, right? Like some people might not like that, and I totally understand, but it is a very fast paced moving world. And I just want to really kind of emphasize that, because our mornings do look different. Our days look different.
It was okay for me to start my day on TikTok and scroll on Instagram back when I had a 9-to-5, because I had my tasks laid out for the day and I knew I could get them done by the end of the day. Now I have my tasks laid out, but something might come in the middle of the day that I might not expect that throws everything off. And that's why you don't have that extra time to just waste. You have to be very intentional.
Yeah, because you could argue that, okay, well, you're home all the time and can't you just work like tonight? No, I want to be able to turn my brain off at least a little bit, at least by like 7,
That'll never happen for me, I feel like. That's
it's
one
not
thing
happening. That's the thing.
Is the point number 2, which is you have to force yourself to stop working and enjoy life. I haven't figured this one out. So this is one that we're working on because the schedule that we have right now, we start work at probably like 9 or 10. Obviously, like the first thing I do we wake up at around 6:30, and then I jump on to look at emails at 7 o'clock immediately, make sure that anything's come in. So then I have it all organized, then we work out, and then we start work at like 9 or 10. That makes the schedule for us working late pretty often. That's just how it works.
Which even most people start at 9. Like that's not an unreasonable time to start, but because there is so much and we're not pausing throughout the day, it does take a long time. And especially if there's video work to be done, which there's always video work to be done, that's what takes the longest, don't you think? That and reaching out to people that we want to work with or people that have reached out to us that want to work with us.
It's a whole mind shift. Like you just have to shift your mind in terms of the way you're working. Like you have to force yourself to stop working, because in my mind, when you're working a 9 to 5, it's okay to just stop working at 5 because you're still going to get paid in 2 weeks. Whereas now it's like, if I stop working, am I losing opportunity in terms of making money? That scares the crap out of me. That makes me like not want to stop working. But it's something that you have to learn. Because
I think the problem is, and obviously our friends that are self-employed talk about this, but because you're the person primarily doing everything, like it's just us guys, right? Like we are everything of the business. We don't have anybody else that we work with or people that do work for us. It would be nice maybe to have an editor or something, because that would free up a lot more time. But we almost hold ourselves too accountable to the point where it is a little bit unhealthy. And I think that is what I'm struggling with. I know you are too, but we can't put these crazy expectations on us, right? To get everything. And like, again, it's only been a month, and I think it's not sustainable if we don't give ourselves a little bit of grace. Yeah. And we talk about this all the time. And to an extent, yes, that's true. I understand the want and the desire to keep pushing and to keep grinding and to get everything we can, but I've seen this with my health. If you keep pushing yourself too hard and trying to do everything, you're going to burn yourself out, and then you can't do anything. And that's not okay. That's not healthy. That's not fair. And that's not a way that we can sustain this business. And we don't want to set the precedent either that we're working 24/7. When we take vacations or like take a day off or something, I want to take the day off. One of the biggest reasons that I was so excited for this is because we talked about so much leading up to us actually quitting and being done at our full-time jobs, at our corporate jobs, that we would get our weekends back. That was huge. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. And we do a little bit. We don't record podcasts anymore.
Yes.
We put everything away to have that separation, because mentally I need that. And we can just focus on other things. Like a lot of time on the weekend, we just take photos or we record short form content, but that still is kind of working, even though it doesn't feel like it. But I almost wonder, would it be beneficial for us to like not think about it at all? But we can't do that because we get emails, and like it's a balance. It's an art.
No business ever in this world. There's no business owner that does not work on a Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, right.
It just doesn't exist. And so I think we just got to get used to that kind of schedule. It's just, how do we turn off working when it's appropriate?
And I think I still feel like I'm in fight or flight mode, to be honest with you, of balancing 2 jobs. That was really hard on me.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I've fully felt the effects of leaving that and doing this, which is something that I love. So that's something that I'm personally struggling with. It's not been easy, which kind of leads me into my next point. You almost feel a little bit more lost and scared than you did before. I just had a breakdown about this yesterday, but I was talking to you and I said, for some reason, I thought quitting my job would make everything better. I thought I would be happier. I thought I would be less stressed. I thought I wouldn't be as anxious, that my head wouldn't feel as chaotic, and I could sleep better. And that hasn't really improved for me. So that's been what I've been dealing with. It's not gone away, and I'm trying to figure out why. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not gotten better.
I don't think it can get better in a month. I don't think it can get better in 6 months. I think it takes a long time. Just like when you start a new job, you're not going to do well for the first 6 months. You're not going to figure everything out. You're not going to know who to talk to for different problems. It's something that is just going to take time. Even though we've been doing this forever, we haven't done it as our only job ever. And so it is like starting a new job. And I feel this way all the time. I feel like in the back of my head, I always say, like, should I have quit my job too? Should Hallie have quit first and then I quit? Everybody says in the comments, like, sometimes the comments are even worse because you think about so many things like, oh, should I have done this instead of that? And I'm pretty good at just like letting go of comments, but there's some comments are actually really like good to the point of like, maybe I should have done that.
No,
And
stop it.
The reason I say that is because there's things that I get scared about, especially when it comes to if something were to happen. Like all the worst case scenarios come into my head, and that scares the crap out of me. And I'm the finance guy, right? And this is the worst financial decision that we could possibly make at the time. Right now, like it is not a financially good decision to quit your job when you're making over $200,000. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like when it comes to the numbers. And this is the first time where I made a decision where it's like it has nothing to do with money. It has all to do with feelings. It has all to do with passion. And it's scary because you don't know if it's going to work. And I'm fully in the zone of like, we got to make this work or we go back to a 9 to 5. Like that motivates me to keep going because it's like, I don't want to go back to that. And if I do have to, I'll feel like a failure, even though that's not failing, right? It's just you've tried something, at least you won't regret it at the end of the day. But it is so scary to think about every day and being lost about like, how do I do this? How do I get this? Because like everybody in this world who does content, who does these businesses on the side, they look so successful. But in behind the scenes, I feel like there are always these moments of like insecurity or being lost, not knowing what to do tomorrow, or how are we going to pay next month's rent? Like there's always those questions. And that's why we spent a lot of time saving up for these cases. But like I said, it's hard for me to think about it so much. Now it's like I have to force myself to stop thinking about it so then I can work.
I think that what you said right there was huge. It's so hard to stop thinking about it because now that's all we're surrounded with. Mm-hmm. Before it was almost like a distraction thinking about it. We have jobs. Okay, I can think about this for a little bit, but I can't think about it for too long, so I got to get back to this. Now we're immersed in that so much so that that's all we think about and that's all that we're surrounded with. And yeah, I like what you said too about so many people, from somebody who worked in a corporate job, people who it looked easy, people who own their own businesses. And I'm not saying that I think it's not easy. But I didn't really think it was, but you would think, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. They got this brand deal and like they're filming, their quality looks so good. People underestimate just how much work goes into every single little thing. And I hate that influencers or just content creators nowadays kind of ruin that for people because people hate on them. And some people, rightfully so, like there's some content creators out there that I can't stand. But you know what I mean? They'll be like, oh, I'm getting my nails done today. And like they kind of ruin the image of self-employment because people out here like us, guys, we're working. We're working. We're not just doing nothing all day.
I think there is a difference between being an influencer and being an entrepreneur, right? Yes. You can be both.
But people kind of lump them in together. You know what I mean? Like I've had so many people be like, oh, so you're going to do nothing? Hello? What do you think this is? No.
We're not staying home. We're not just sitting on the couch doing nothing. It's a lot more stress than having a 9 to 5. And even so, like it feels like we made the right decision, but there are times where it just feels like we have not. Like number 4 on the list is you will inevitably have more stress.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like work. You got to create the work. Like it's just like you got to make work happen. and you have to make money. You have to find people to work for. You have to, at the end of the day, it's not even like you're working for yourself. You have clients. You're working for your clients. Like that's how you make the money.
Yeah, and that first week that so let me just break it down real quick. We turned in all of our stuff at our place of work on a Tuesday. That Wednesday, we left for Canada, and we were gone all week to spend time with family. So it just felt like we were on PTO, like realization hadn't set in yet. And then Monday rolls around, and we get up at like 6:30, whatever, work out, and then start our day.
I was stressed.
Yeah, I could tell. I mean, it was rubbing off on me a little bit because you were like sitting at your desk. You were so focused. You're like, I can't talk to you right now, blah, 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 blah. And now looking back, like that's lame. Just kidding. It's not. Because I get at the time, right? There are so many feelings and and this shock too of coming downstairs and my office that I had for so long for my full-time job is no longer that kind of office. It's my personal office, and I don't get as much PTSD going in there anymore, of crying in there, whatever. I mean, I still cry in there, but it's different. It's different tears. So it's a little bit different. And we sat at our desks and tried to figure out our schedule, and you were trying to do so many things, and I was like, okay, well, let's put everything in a task list, because I personally operate the way of I like having things written down and a little checkbox next to them so I can just tick them off when I'm done. Check, check, check. So I like doing that. That's how I operate. And that's how I keep my brain organized, because otherwise you're just trying to do a million things. You can get distracted and get hyperfixated on something. And then that just makes it way too stressful for everybody. So that was kind of the first few days. We recorded 2 podcast episodes that week. We have been doing 2 ever since, which, by the way, we were not able to do that when we had our corporate jobs. So bless. And yeah, we just realized, okay, this is a different kind of stress. It feels like a lot more right now, but that's because it's new. That's because we're figuring this out together, and it will all get better through time, that we will start to get used to things and be able to manage it better. But I think, yeah, like I had said, how stressed I've been about it. It's not fair to put that kind of pressure on ourselves the first month, right? Like everybody that I've talked to that has taken this leap, they say it takes like 6 months for you fully to feel more at peace and be like, okay, I got this.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the 6 months. I'm so impatient about that. Well,
it's different for everybody.
I want it to happen already.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I'll move on to our next point, number 5. You will be so much busier. I've said this before, and I will say it again. People think that when you own your own business, you just make the rules, and you do, but you have to hold yourself accountable. That's where people get confused, because if you don't hold yourself accountable, nobody will. And if you don't do the work, you're not nobody's going to do it for me. So just to exemplify this a little bit further, we have friends we were hanging out with a few weeks ago, and just randomly, like they were in the back of the car and you were driving up front, and I had my phone out, and they're like, oh, asking something about a date. And so I whipped out my calendar on my phone, and without thinking, because I'm used to looking at it all the time. I mean, it's crazy. We have a ton of stuff every single day because we hold ourselves accountable, or at least try to remind ourselves of things, to get things done. And they were like, oh my gosh, I thought my calendar was busy. And then I looked at this and I said, oh, this old thing? No. But that made me realize, okay, I actually am really busy. This is nothing new to me. I've been looking at this for weeks and months, but now actually seeing it and hearing somebody externally say that, that threw me for a loop. And I realized, okay, we actually are a lot busier, and the days go by so much faster. Mm-hmm. Why is that?
The days go by faster just because there is so much we're doing, not just on the computer, but physically as well. Like we're going places to different locations, and that takes up time. And before, when we're doing work at work, right, you have these certain tasks, you get them done, you're not totally engaged in it, and so the time goes by a little slower. Now it's like the time goes by like in 2 seconds, because you're just like, it's 3:16. It's 3:16, guys. The day's almost over.
Yeah.
like if we were at work right now, we'd be leaving work at like 4:00. And so we have 40 minutes before we leave work. And that to me is how fast time just goes by now. And I don't know, like, is it because we like what we're doing? Is it because
Probably.
we are like, we have so much to do? Like, I don't know why time is going by so fast.
I think, yeah, one, we like what we're doing a lot more. And two, there's just never enough time in the day to get everything done. And there's always an abundance of things that need to get done. So I think that's a big part of it, because obviously most people at their corporate jobs are excited to go home. There's not really a feeling of excitement. I just do the work because I love it. And that's it. So there's really nothing else that I look forward to. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I look forward to it, but I don't look forward to anything more. I enjoy this stuff so much that I don't know if that's making sense what I'm saying.
The busyness causes time to go fast. That's all you guys say.
Yeah, it does. So my next point kind of goes along with that. We love to get out of the house, guys. You don't have to sit at your desk to be productive. I personally am somebody that needs to get out of the house. I obviously love to record podcasts here. We're not going to do it anywhere else unless someday we have a cool space.
This table's so iconic.
It is.
This table's coming with us wherever we go.
That's true. We just won't have a table
We got
here
a
in our
great
house.
deal on it, by the way.
We did.
Fantastic deal.
We did. We got it on Amazon.
It was great.
Great deal. Great table. Great ambiance. But I'm somebody that needs to get out of the house. I personally love going to a good library, a coffee shop. That's about it. That's really where I like to go work, and I feel that I can be most productive. It's nice for me to be around people because we really aren't getting that sense of camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just us and Sylvie. And there's sometimes it's fair to say that we do get tired of you. I don't get tired of Sylvie, but I do get not tired of
Yeah, she
you.
gets tired of me. It's okay. I get it. It happens. I like working from home. Like I enjoy being at my desk. I enjoy being at this table working. The problem that I run into is the creative side. I need to go somewhere else to be a little more creative. This space is great to get stuff done. Like I can edit here. I can make sure that we get all the emails done for the day. I can do outreach here. But when it comes to being creative and thinking of new ideas, being original, all of that stuff, I can't be in this house for that.
You can't be stuck in the same environment. You have to go somewhere that challenges you to think differently.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I'm at in terms of being home versus somewhere else.
And guys, this is a fully remote job. It's not like where we were before, where it was hybrid and we would go in 3 days a week. We had somewhere to be where we left work there and then we'd come home and forget about it.
I've been thinking about this. Maybe we should move somewhere for a month. Just like get an Airbnb for 1 month.
Yes.
And see if we like it.
Yes.
Well, how are we going to take the table? That's the issue. We got to take the table.
Shoot. We have a lot of things to think through.
We got some things to think about. Let us know down in the comments below where we should move to for 1 month.
When should we do that? It's already August.
We can figure it out. We can figure something out. We're traveling to a few different places. We're going to be in Chicago at some point. We're going to be in Philly at some point. By the time you're watching this, we might have already been there. Make sure you follow Half Past Shaw on Instagram to find out.
Yeah, to see us on our adventures. Number 7, your definition of success will constantly change.
I don't know what success is.
Oh, I didn't know where you're going with
that. It was
that.
so easy to define success in the corporate world because at the beginning of the year, you have what? Goals. You get the goals. You got to make sure you hit the goals. And it's usually a number like hit this percentage, hit that number, blah, blah, blah. It's so easy to hit the goal. Like it's just, you do the work and you're going to eventually hit the goal by the end of the year and you're successful. That is success. You're going to get the little raise that everybody gets
bonus
if you do your work right, if you meet expectations.
Oh my God.
And then
trauma.
There's no way to get surpassing expectations because
you have to sell your soul to go beyond.
You really do have to sell your soul to get exponential expectations, whatever it's called.
Yeah. So I like the comparison that you made between corporate and this because here we're constantly raising the bar. I think the problem is that we're not congratulating ourselves enough. So we're not feeling rewarded. Even though we're achieving great things, we're not rewarding ourselves with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let us know how you think we can treat ourselves for, like, we hit a milestone and hopefully we hit another milestone for subscribers and being consistent with posting. It's the little things. You need to celebrate the little things because it's so easy to forget those.
Yep.
Like, I just was looking at our Instagram. We've posted over 900 things.
That is a lot of things. For us to get to this point, 900, that's crazy.
That's
I'm
crazy.
so glad that we kept going.
Yeah, 1000%. So it is about the little things. And so we definitely need to do a better job of that. And maybe it will feel like we are successful because honestly, because we isolate ourselves and we only spend time with each other, it doesn't always feel like we're doing anything like I'm not thinking of the right word, but not doing anything amazing. You know what I mean? We are, but it doesn't always feel like
It's
that.
because it's just us. Like, nobody's telling us congratulations on this. That's like the self-satisfaction that you get when you're at work, when your boss gives you a $25 gift card to Amazon. That feels good, right?
Wow, or a pizza party.
A pizza party. That feels great. That makes you feel successful.
Yeah.
When you get to post on LinkedIn that you got a promotion, that feels like you're successful. When you're self-employed, there is no like, oh yeah, no, I am successful now. It's just no. I got there, but now I got to get here. There is no like definition of, oh, now I'm successful. It just keeps getting higher and higher and higher.
Well, yeah, there's no real definition. You're just constantly redefining what that means to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
It's tough.
I don't know. We need to do a little bit better job, everybody. We don't do the best job of that. Not that we need affirmation, but sometimes it's nice.
So make sure you comment down below. Hey, you guys are doing a great job.
I love you.
Maybe that will help us a little bit. Number 8, your income will feel unpredictable, and that's normal. No, it's not normal. I feel sick inside. I feel sick inside. Okay? This is tough. It's tough dealing with the unpredictability of this content world, this self-employment world. Sometimes, I swear to God, if I get another net 30 or net 60, I'm going to lose my mind. It's so annoying. Like, why? Who created net 30s and net 60s? I actually got quoted a net 90 once. What? You're telling me I'm going to get the work done now and then you're going to pay me 90 days later? That's insane. That is insane to me.
Not going to cut it.
I think this is something that we're getting used to. Like, for example, next month we're not going to be making pretty much anything, but the month after we're making a lot more that month. And it's that variability that you got to keep in mind. Like, it's okay if you're not making anything this month, but next month it'll be amazing. And that's something that is just like in my brain that can't function yet. But I think over time it'll get a little bit better.
You think it can't function?
It can't. It literally can't. I physically can't because I just see expenses coming out, but no income coming in. But then I have to wait till the income comes in later. That's great. That's crazy. You gotta keep in mind. Since I was 17 years old, I have gotten a paycheck every 2 weeks. Every single 2 weeks, I've gotten a paycheck since 17 years old.
You sound a little obsessive.
I have never not gotten a paycheck. Think about that.
Does that define you though?
I've always gotten a paycheck.
But
so yeah, it defines me.
No, it does not. Get out of town.
It's just I have to get used to it. It's just it took me, what is it, 17 to 25 years old, 28 years, 27. Oh, 10 years. I was earning an income for 10 years. So 10 years of earning 2 weeks, every 2 weeks paycheck, and then all of a sudden you don't get it anymore. Woo! That is insane. That feels wrong to me, but something that I'm going to have to get time and used to it.
Did you ever think that you'd be saying those words?
Saying what words?
That I guess, let me say the words, that you quit your job and you have to get used to not having a steady paycheck. Did you ever think that would happen?
Always wanted to say that I quit my job, but I never wanted to realize that I didn't make an income every single 2 weeks. I think we'll get to a point where we're making income every single day. It's just right now we're not making income every single day.
It's patience.
It's patience.
And grit.
That's what you got to deal with.
Having a business is not for the weak. That's a lesson that I did not write down, but it is true. With that being said, next point, number 9, people will not always understand your schedule, and that's okay.
Yeah, this is a very self-explanatory. When you're self-employed, a lot of people think, oh, like they got all the time in the world, whatever
You're
it may
free
be.
all day.
And then some people might think, oh, you're too busy for me. Like that's also another like extreme. There's 2 extremes to it. It's pros and cons on each side, right? But it's just something that people won't understand. And in your brain, for example, like me, I can't get over the fact that I'm not going to get a paycheck every 2 weeks.
Yes.
And the brains of people who have worked a 9 to 5 their whole life, they physically cannot understand the fact that you have a schedule when you don't work for somebody else. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like it just won't, it's not clocking. What is it? What do you say?
It's not clocking to them that we're standing on our own business.
It's not clocking.
Oh, which is okay, right? It's okay if you can't understand that, but if you can't you can't understand it for yourself, but if you can't understand it for a person that you care about, that's where I have a problem.
Yeah.
Because when people are like, oh, well, what do you mean you're not free all day? Like you actually do work? Yeah. Uh-huh. This actually goes back to a point that I mentioned a few minutes ago, but I think the biggest thing that we've had to get used to is making sure people know what we do and that we can't just hang out midday or do something, or that our weekends are busy. And that's just, those are unfortunately the sacrifices that you make when you own a business. You have to put it first until you start to see some huge ROI from it. Do you like that I use that word?
I like it.
But it's true. And I've had this happen before where people, they just don't really get it. And that's fine. They don't have to get it. But if I sense frustration, or there is frustration on that person's side because we're not making time for them, then that's where I have a problem. Then, okay, are we really friends if you don't understand the biz? I can hang out sometimes, but there are some times where the business comes first. And that's just a rule that we have. And that's kind of how it has to be. But that's not saying that we can't do things, and we do. I still think we are good at prioritizing having fun with people. But honestly, at seeing people own their own business at our age, you would think maybe we would make more time for friends and everything. And we try our best to, but at the same time, we care so much about this and we want it to grow and be better and put the work into it. And so that there are years that our lives that aren't as chaotic, that we can say yes to more things.
And at 9 o'clock, guys, I'm out. I physically can't move. I am so much more tired because I feel like I'm actually working a lot harder, using my brain a lot more. That's something that isn't talked about, how much more I use my brain now because I have to. Before, it was like a cycle. I know I'm going in, I'm doing the same thing, going in, doing the same thing, and it becomes a cycle. So you just stop using your brain a little bit. There's challenges at work. Yeah, of course, you're going to deal with things that are coming up out of nowhere, but you know how to do the thing you're good at. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like now I don't know how to do a lot of things. I'm learning to do them because I'm using my brain more, and now I'm more tired. And that's something that I'm trying to figure out as well.
Yeah, I'm tired right now.
Yeah.
You want to go to bed after this?
Let's go to bed.
See, it is just, and again, not trying to shade anybody for the job that they have, but when you're in any position and you're thinking in different ways and building something and doing something different every day, that is very exhausting. There were days at my other job that it didn't maybe challenge me enough, and I wasn't really tired, or my brain wasn't stimulated.
You weren't
by
motivated either.
Yeah, that's fact. And here I'm a lot more motivated. So I think it really is just exhausting. Plus, obviously, the working out and the getting up early and the things. But we love to go to bed early. Our biggest flex is that we love being in bed by 10. I am so okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I am so okay with that.
Yeah, I love going to bed early.
Last point that we have. And this is so true. Number 10, you will need a community now more than ever. We don't have coworkers besides each other. So we don't have a built-in support system.
Yeah, this is a big one. You're gonna be. We mentioned like our calendars, right? A lot of our calendar is filled with meetings with other people who are in the entrepreneur space, other clients that we want to work with, and they're just meetings to meet them. I want to build the network that we used to have. Like when you build your network, it's mainly people that you work with at work. And the second you leave, you kind of lose a lot of that network. You want to keep in touch with them as much as possible and have the good community still, but you need to start to build your own community to help you and the business. And then you can help them as well. Like on top of that, it's always a double. You got to put in help to others, but then the others can help you. Like you have to put in both sides of the work. And that's something that you really need to focus on.
1000%. And we love meeting with other creatives, other entrepreneurs, business, like anybody. We love meeting with those people so much. And I would say that people with that mindset have really come to be some of our closest friends because they just get it. You know, like there are so many struggles that we have that there are some people, again, and they don't fully understand because they're not in this space. And that's great because I know they think we're crazy. Like some of the things that we say and we do and like how our mind works, and like we do sound crazy. We are crazy.
We're crazy.
You have to be obsessed with your business for it to be successful. You have to be a little delulu to make. I was gonna rhyme something with that, but literally nothing rhymes with delulu. But you have to be delusional to be successful. Truly, like you have to dream so big, and people will think you're crazy, bonkers. But other entrepreneurs, they just get it, and otherwise, you can feel pretty isolated if you don't surround yourself with anybody, really, for that matter.
So it's motivating as well when you meet other people who've kind of made it out of this situation, made it out of the first 6 months, made it out of the first year. That is motivating to me. It makes me feel like it's anything is possible. Watching motivational content, like that just doesn't, that always is fun to watch, but it's like, yeah, like they did it, but like, is it actually possible? Like they keep talking about themselves like we talk about ourselves way too much, but when you see people do it in real life, when you meet the people, if we ever meet in person, like I want to get to know you and understand like how did you get to where you are? And that to me is motivating, even if it's like a job that you've dreamed of doing, like that is motivating to me. And I think just that physical connection of meeting somebody in person to me is the best thing, especially right now.
Yeah, 1000%. And it always just leaves us feeling so much more inspired hanging out with, I mean, really anybody, but especially when we talk, anytime we've gone to New York City and we meet up with different creators, we leave that place feeling so inspired and so ready. And that's why I'm so excited for us to go. And I know we have a few other trips coming up to bigger cities that I'm so excited for. It will be so refreshing for us because we haven't been on a trip. And I was telling you just last week that I've been dying to go somewhere. I want to go on a trip. I want to go somewhere different. I want to get some perspective and just leave feeling more creatively charged. And I just, that's what I need at this point. Because we did go, we went on a trip and it was with family and it was a nice reset. But there are different kinds of trips, especially for us. We need to be kind of stimulated, like when we go to New York or go to Chicago or we're going to Philly, or I mean really for me anywhere on the East Coast, I just leave coming back more and more inspired and wanting to live over there more, but that's just me. But I need those kinds of trips because they help me a lot, and I'm able to come up with good ideas while I'm there, come up with good ideas while I'm here, meet people, get to learn about their perspectives and their experiences, and it's just a really great all around experience. So
exactly. I'm excited to see what happens at this time next year. We're going to watch this video back. Okay, today is the day we're recording this is August 11th. Our 115th podcast came out today, meaning that in 1 year, I don't know how many that is. In 1 year, we're going to come back, watch the 117th podcast and see what has happened. I'm excited. Maybe we should do a reaction to this video.
We should.
Just like reacting to what our script was back in 2025 of August. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
A lot can change in a year.
There's two options. We're successful or we're back into the 9 to 5.
No, don't
Either
even.
way, we're both happy, right? Right,
No,
Hallie?
No. I will not be happy if I go back into a 9 to 5. I would do it if I had to, but obviously the goal is to not do that.
We'll make it happen. We'll make it work somehow.
I'm just so excited to see what this next year brings. And guys, we'll be in New York for a week almost for the marathon, which your girl is running. So I know that's going to be a really, really transformative trip for me personally.
If you don't already know, Hallie's running for Therapists Beyond Borders. So if you have the opportunity to donate, the link is down in the description below. And folks, that is all we got for you today.
What?
A reminder, if you could, go to www.halfpastchai.com where you submit your own questions and stories. Half Past crew, thank you so much for spending your Monday with us. We love you. We thank you for your support. And as always, we'll see you next Monday at Half Past Chai.
That was a really good episode.
That was great.
That was great. Those are my raw feelings of how I'm feeling. The 10 things. I'm hungry.
Ding a ding a ding 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 a ding a ding.
Are you
ding,
leaving?
ding,
Are you
ding,
going
ding.
under the table?
No, I gotta drink some water. That's what I got.
You don't drink water. That is a problemo for me. Hello, everybody. This is Hallie speaking. I hope you have a great Monday. I love you.